Yeah.
Okay,
Two.
right. And then, like I said, just put it up in that cabinet there. I'm sorry about the mix up, but at least.
It's open, you
got
opened it,
Almost in time. Huh?
you opened that cabinet, I'll just put this and this with the box.
Yep.
This is separate than the box.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to go back.
Put it on top of there,
Yeah.
in there,
This
okay,
way.
thank you,
You got it.
That way.
That,
and we'll lock up.
Okay.
So you need to tell me which one of these are we looking at, if either one of these for this hearing.
You
or
mean I actually
something.
got out of the house without my thing I wanted? Can you believe it?
Either one of these, something I can look at, this one's a draft, it's got all these like edits, I don't. Look at this one, and you did send me the link to the online one.
oh, does
You
it?
sent me a link to the online zoning.
And I did, and how did where's the paper copy where my brain is on the kitchen table? Great.
You said you were gonna bring
I know,
one.
I can go get it. I'm only 3.5 seconds away.
I prefer a paper copy, you know me, I
Okay,
can't
I'll go
read
get-
online. You know, like we got a tablet for signing the kids in and out and looking at the parent information. But I can't, you know, for me, computers like this, it's like tunnel vision, I have to do this and then I have to do this. And you have to be very specific and you have to type it in the right exact spot or you don't get right. Or then you're like all over the place and you're fussing with this and I'm like, I can't do that when my children and talk to parents.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm so used to being like this, the big view and like holding it all in. Of course, I can look down and write something on a piece of paper. But I can't use a computer. It's really people. The same.
Can you get one of the kids to like do
I
that?
did play. I got Flynn after like 3 days. I'm like, she's sitting there. I'm like, so and so's in it last time. This time she's like, got it. It took a couple of days, but I did. And then I got her to fill in all the back things. And
Cool.
then Friday though, I had to sit there and fill it in. Yeah, I'm planning to do that next week too. Get somebody else to do it.
Yeah, good.
Hello,
I'm- Hi, Mary.
hi. I should tell you that, we may all of a sudden get a lot of noise because they just started tedding the hay out in front of us, so maybe I'll move inside then.
I don't hear anything.
Well,
Can
they
you?
haven't started yet.
Oh,
So,
okay. Where is your camp?
in South Hero,
Oh, how lovely.
it is
like it.
lovely.
I like to go camping in North Hero. We usually rent a campsite on Night Island, which is out
Yeah.
there, one of the state parks, but it's getting harder and harder to reserve them because more and more people, you know, go right the day they want it and fill it in, even if they're not there, you never take their reservations off.
No, that's
We tried to
frustrating.
get, yeah, we tried to get Burton Island this year and they filled up in seconds, everything.
Yeah, we got some for Burton, but not the ones we were going for. So. Okay. Hey, Mary, are you gonna be able to do notes or are we gonna need to do that on our side?
I will do what I can.
Okay, we'll take notes as well and we'll all combine,
Great. Okay,
or I will try my best.
okay.
And I'm looking for my hearing, I swear, piece of paper.
Oh, that was Karen went to get?
No, she went to get a physical copy of the zoning regs that we are using.
Okay.
Can you tell me who's in the audience there?
So, well, we haven't signed anybody in yet, but
Oh,
so we'll let them know. Does the owl not show you?
it
Why
does,
don't
but
you-
it's,
Why don't you
it's-
guys talk over there?
Okay.
Why don't you guys tell Mary your names?
Hi, Mary, it's Bob and Becky Atchison.
hi,
Mary Lane,
Hi,
former
Mary.
note taker of the DRB, I might say.
Oh, you're online, Mary, and then we have
Melinda.
Melinda.
hi, Melinda.
Hi.
It looks like my piece of paper that I swear people in is not in here.
Mary,
I'll
did you
just have
say
to
you were
fake
a
it.
note taker?
From many years ago. Yeah,
Oh, but you're not doing it now.
no,
Okay,
She's not on our board or anything.
well,
no, just busy, just in a butter, as they say.
Kristen wasn't on the board either.
That's true, but she was an administrative assistant and
Yeah.
Mary was for a while too. And our note taker assistant.
Okay,
All right, well, we're waiting for Karen to return, but we do have a quorum. And the hearing is scheduled to start right now, that's 5 minutes ago. And did you guys sign in? There's a sign-in sheet, everybody sign in?
Great.
All right, well, maybe I'll do my best to swear you guys in and we might as well get started. What do you think?
That's fine with me.
Maybe we could do some of our other business, so the hearing has Karen included in it.
Okay.
All right, so I won't swear you in yet because Karen's not here, but we'll do some other business, which is to call the meeting to order at 7:10 PM here on the 9th of July, 2025. And any agenda revisions?
I don't have any.
I don't have any.
Hearing none, we'll go down to the bottom and revise our hearing to review and adopt the DRB minutes from last month, which we don't have, correct?
Right,
Yeah.
So we're not doing that one. And so we could set a hearing date while we're here for the Hodgkin, Travis's. It's a section 3.11 historic site review for change of use on a deck. Do we want to do that next month? Maybe, hopefully Karen would accept that we make that
Sounds like she might be coming.
on my calendar. She is. We're waiting for you. No worries. Karen, can we set Travis's hearing for next month?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll take a motion.
I move to set the hearing for Travis Hodgkins, next month. What do we have the date for that?
That would be August 13th I have, correct? Yeah, because the
Yep.
1st of the August is the 6th, so August 13th. Mary, work for you?
yep,
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I,
All right, so we'll set Travis's
There's
historic right review. I know,
okay, so it's for High Street and there's one up at his house.
there's two.
There's two.
Okay,
So you would do the High Street for one hearing and then you would do a second hearing for 128.
okay. I think that was the High Street we were talking about.
Yes, we were doing the,
Okay.
well, no, yeah, we did High Street.
Okay,
So now you're saying the second access to garage at 1928 Upper Road is
Yeah.
Travis?
is Travis also?
Okay, so do you want to do that the same day, everybody?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do that after. We need a time, set times for both of those.
I'll make a motion.
So maybe we should do the High Street first at 7:05.
Well, we have a continuation of 7:05
Okay,
for Bearish.
okay.
And hopefully if they've solved it, it shouldn't take more than 20 minutes, but we're not really sure. And it might take 5. We don't know about Bearish.
Should we try for 7:30 for this one?
7:20.
For
And-
7:20, then
Okay.
I assume that there won't be much about the
The
High Street.
So 7:30?
Yeah,
So 7:30, we'll make a motion. I heard a motion
That was Mary.
Mary,
That's-
okay.
I accept that, yeah.
for the Upper Road, okay? So those are the two hearings we need to set for month. Both, and all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right,
I,
have both of them set for Wednesday, August 13th. Great. Good, now we can call our hearing of this evening to order, and I'm gonna have to wing it. So if you could all raise your right hand and repeat after me or affirm that you are all telling the truth, the whole truth under pains and penalty of perjury. Yes? You do.
if you want to
Okay.
testify.
If you want to testify or say anything as a part of the hearing, just say, I do. I affirm is another way to say that.
And we have another person on the line?
Do we have somebody, Bram is the note taker,
Sure.
Charlie Goddard, college
I didn't say I
alum.
do, but I do.
And
Okay.
Mary, you do, and Charles Goddard, college alum. Do you also affirm?
I'm just here to listen and observe. I was not intending to offer any comments, but if you would prefer that I affirm, I will affirm that anything I say is truth under penalties of perjury.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
What is your last name, Charles?
It's Charles Scott. I'll change it so that you can, I
Okay.
apologize.
Thank
I just sort of,
Thank you.
So you brought this?
Yeah.
Can I nab it from you?
Mhm.
That way these guys can multitask. So we have Aiden and Chris here to speak about the conditional use changes at what is now being called the Plainfield Granary LLC, which was formerly known as the Plainfield Co-op. And they're looking for conditional uses for a commercial kitchen, community facility, and the permitted uses, which are 1 apartment, 4 office spaces, and maintenance office. We have to look under our conditional use
So the
regs.
so the 4 spaces that can be permitted by me, we still need to do the historic site review so that I can permit those. So
Tell us what that means.
we have to do a historic site plan review for that building. So that
First.
all, even though you don't have to do the conditional use for the offices or the apartment, you need to do it for the commercial kitchen and the community facility upstairs. But because they're all in one building, you have to do the historic site review for all of them.
All of it, which is listed there, right? No. Yes, 3.11 in our newly voted in historic, zoning regs. So I'll look them up. And I did look at do you want to speak to this while I look for the,
Sure.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Please.
Karen, like, what is the upstairs meeting room zone as current?
Nothing,
Just nothing,
yes.
cause it was like built for gatherings.
Right, but so anything that sort of existed before zoning is just what it was. And so there's not really, and so the change of use is only because it used to be this and you want to make it this now. So that's why
That.
it's the change, yeah, this or that, right?
did anybody
But-
need to take a look? Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess our question is, like, why is it a change of use for that space of the gathering space if we don't intend on changing this?
The change,
purpose of
the change of uses for the kind of the whole building. Right,
Not the space specifically.
yes, just the
like
whole.
the upstairs.
Did everybody have a chance to look at the zoning application and the footprint that she has submitted? Melinda, you were at the site?
I was at
Did you? Okay, did you two have a chance to look at this? Would you like to look at this?
Is it the same
As-
as first?
It is the same. It is the same. Okay, I looked at it and we have it up online. So I hear Karen, you're saying that we need first to look at the historic sites and building preservation section 3.11 and see that these changes meet within those parameters.
This is, I'm talking to the planning commission about this, but they're not doing anything externally. So to me, it's like they're not making any significant change to the outside.
And that's where historic preservation comes in.
But because of the language in the zoning, it says any permit.
Okay, so
Instead of-
let's look at what the language says
Yeah.
and see that we
Yeah.
can affirm.
Yeah.
What we need to affirm, notwithstanding any provisions for district uses specified in these regulations, application for proposed use of any parcel of land which contains a historic site or building listed on the state or national register of historic places or is located within a district listed on such registers will be required to have a site plan approval by the DRB prior to the issuance of a permit. So you're on the map and we need to look at a few things to look at about that, right? Here. The DRB shall consider the following in its review of the plans submitted. The historic or architectural significance of the structure, its distinctive characteristics, and its relationship to the historic significance of the surrounding area. Want to speak to that?
I'd love to speak to that. I think this building as, it was built as a Grange Hall in the 1840s. And the most like historic piece of that to me is the upstairs space with the foyer and the big meeting room. Those spaces are not changing at all. We're not changing the structure of those upstairs spaces, except perhaps to investigate rebuilding a causeway that was already there and is in the title as an accessibility solution, and possibly revisiting the architectural designs for an addition someday that would house an elevator for accessibility. But we're not changing the upstairs, and I feel like that building, the downstairs has been a few things. In the 70s, it was a community canning facility, and then the front of the building was the co-op at that time, and then the back space was a bike shop. It has had many lives on the ground floor, and this is another culmination of that. But we're not gonna change, like, we wanna keep the most like important piece of that building that we wanna preserve is the upstairs meeting room and that foyer space to keep those active. That do need upgrades, but we're not gonna change.
The only
The
thing that was
basic
changing
structure.
is the capacity. We met with the Department of Fire Safety. And
Yeah.
they had allowed it for like 80 people, which was way too many.
Upstairs.
So
We did
49 people.
Yeah, we were like, can you look at this number again?
Yeah, he was like.
So we
I don't
did
know.
do that.
Well, there used to be big parties up there with that
I
many
know.
people.
I know. You don't wanna see the.
I'd love some folk music and like
Not
smaller,
the bouncing.
smaller sort of gatherings. I've heard from people who are really interested in getting up there to do yoga again. I think there's teachers and people who've done those classes who are interested in using that space for that again.
Great. And the exterior isn't gonna change.
Hopefully it will just get better. We're working on with Preservation Trust of Vermont to get a Bruin grant to do the painting on the outside.
Windows are gonna stay the same even if you repair them, right? They'll stay.
Yeah, I mean, that is something, Janice, that, like in the future, there's 4 upstairs that do need in the ballroom area that need to get eventually replaced. They're in.
They're
fact right
pretty
now.
standard windows anyway, so replacing them
Yeah.
wouldn't change.
They won't change the size, the
Yeah.
dimensions wouldn't
Right,
change.
no, we're not.
I mean, we could do pane replacement and if we needed to do like
Mm.
small pane replacement, we could do that instead of doing
We could do
whole
that.
new modern windows, but that's.
I mean, they are pretty special windows. Some of them are like, the old, like the wavy glass, you can
the
tell
glass
it's
is like
like,
rippled.
it's neat. But at the same time, probably not that efficient.
Right. Okay, the relationship to the proposed changes in the exterior, that's what we just spoke about. The general compatibility of the proposed exterior design, arrangement, texture, and materials proposed to be used, really no major changes, correct? Any other factors, including the environmental setting and aesthetic factors that the Development Review Board deems to be pertinent. Do we see anything pertinent that needs to be discussed?
No,
Anything else you would like to share about the historic site review?
We love it.
You love the building with all the parts. It's hard to read it.
It is. We've been.
There last night, I was like.
We both obviously have lots on our plates, but we've been working on it, and it is really, really hard to leave at the end of the day, because you see like 16 other things. Need addressing.
So, does anybody in the audience have any comments they'd like to make about the historic site review? Yeah.
Just as a side comment, I'm working on a work grant for doing geothermal for the firehouse and the municipal office building. And I've received some pushback from Vermont Department of historic preservation because they claim that in the old days, the cemetery boundaries were not defined as it is now, like by the fence. And therefore, they are asking that if any ground disturbance occurs, that it should be 40 feet back from the fence, which is making it really hard to thread the needle because the back of the firehouse is 45 feet away.
Mhm.
So I'm just cautioning you on ground disturbance, you know, if you wanted to bring an electrical drop from a pole 18 inches over, you know, and they say that they just don't know, you know, could there be graves there that are not unmarked? They suppose that there could be, so I'm trying to, it's a little bit of a showstopper at this point, so I'm trying to look. The geothermal pumps to see if there are alternative positions for wells. We go.
And that wouldn't connect to possibly the
There's
granary?
about, you know,
The
after-
building is 40, closer than 40.
yeah, there's a thought of offering it as a community thermal network, which could mean that this building or adjacent buildings could.
But once you put the pipes in the ground, can't you just then pipe it to different
Yeah.
buildings, right? So it's a possibility.
So the closer you have, it, the shorter the runs, but
Right.
that kind of thing.
I'm fascinated by the idea that there's some graves in the second one that we don't know about.
There's so much going on, because we've been talking with Alice Sky and John on the cemetery commission
Yeah,
about that fence. Cause
Yeah.
they wanna, you know, they would like to remove it, replace it, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, there has to be
There's a lot going on in
fence,
that
but they're interested
small
in
lot.
like bringing it lower and sort of inviting, so it's almost like a park, like they used to be more
Right,
integrated into.
I guess by Vermont law, that.
Yeah, but maybe it could be like a split rail fence instead of like a
yeah.
chain link fence.
It's like palm.
Yeah, and that's it.
All right, well, I think we need a motion that it says that this permit application meets the historic site review
Janice,
criteria.
Janice,
Yeah.
it's Mary Lane, can I say something?
Yeah,
Can't find
sure,
my hand
please.
raised thing.
Sorry, I
I'm not here actually as an accessibility committee person, but I am on the accessibility committee. And one of the things that we've been inviting Chris and Aaron, No, Aiden, to come to one of our meetings, but we haven't been able to do that yet. But as far as changing the outside of the building, there's two things that we've talked about to make the upstairs accessible, because it's not obviously right now. I don't know what one of them is, but the other one is the causeway. And I was talking to Carol Smith at the office, and she said that the causeway, she thinks is going to be an issue because they have meetings upstairs. And if there's people coming to parties or whatever it is at night, that's possibly going to be a problem. So I think there's just some talking that might need to be done. I don't know. I don't want to throw any, you know, whatever's wrenches in this, but about the two ways that to make this accessible. And I think there's also a possibility that it doesn't need to be accessible. I don't know, but that's in the works anyway. I just want to throw that in.
Thank you. Yes, all right.
Yeah, thank you, Mary.
Could I
Yeah,
say something
Melinda.
about that comment about maybe it doesn't need to be accessible? I'm remembering very well, and I imagine you folks remember very well, Peter Youngbear said at, I don't remember which gathering it was, and that topic came up, and Peter, I can almost quote him, but he's got a lot of experience and he's very familiar with laws, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He says, if I can get it correct enough, that the building can be not accessible. You don't have to close it if it's not accessible.
No, not following. You mean you don't have to close it.
Like
You don't have to,
Yeah.
you can open the building.
Oh, yeah,
It doesn't
okay,
have-
okay.
it doesn't-
So it's not prohibitive to using the
Right,
building.
Yeah, but it is better, but I don't think he said that word,
Right.
but she's expressing it. Do you follow?
So that
Yeah.
you can offer the space for use and not have it
I think
accessible.
we still want to work towards that solution, and I think that there's two solutions and they don't cancel each other out.
Right,
they're like complementary.
Yeah.
And we definitely have to manage the dynamic if we were going in and out of the town hall. There is a right of way in the title of the building for that.
But they have to, so can you get an access at interior? Could you put an exterior
Right now.
access?
I don't know.
Right, so it's
We're
not,
not breaking ground on that
right,
tomorrow.
right.
This thing.
I love
I'll,
this. school. There's a good
You know,
elevator behind us, that's what.
my
we're-
neighbor's
that's
no
great.
object, like, we could build out a bump out in the back.
The
Right.
Vermont Council on Fine Arts does do cultural handicap accessibility grants. But I think, I'm not quite sure. Yeah,
Well,
for-
that's that's one of the things we want to talk to them about. We know some resources and,
There you go.
we want to help them. We don't want to, like I said, we don't want to throw wrenches in it, but I just know as far as the two things that I think were talked about, the causeway and I don't know what the other one was, but I know they wrote me and said that there's another possibility. But anyway.
Well,
something to think
the
about.
other possibility was the addition, that the feasibility study for the co-op move looked at, that was cost prohibitive, in, making accessibility to the second floor. But those plans were put together during the feasibility study for the co-op that ended up going to Route 2 with it. So those
Yeah.
plans are still out there.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was on the co-op, I mean, on the committee for the community space upstairs for the co-op years ago, and I got off it because all of a sudden I couldn't get up those stairs, and I'm like, what am I doing on here? So they tried to, I think it was Alexis and can't think of the other guy's name, that tried pretty hard to try to find a solution to that, and none of it they could afford. But like I said, there might be grants, there might be things we could work out to do, but
Great. Well, thank you, everybody, for your interest and input.
Did we get the motion done?
No, I had presented the motion. About I make that motion. Anybody want to second it?
I'll second.
Okay, so the motion is that we see that it complies with the historic site review. We don't see any conflict, yeah? Okay, so all in favor, say aye.
I,
All right, that's if for the record, it is 3.11 historic site and building preservation. It meets all we find no obstacles to their permit on that level. And so now we're going to section 8.6 conditional use review. Okay, and so we have to look at conditional use reviews. You said for site plan review? 8.5?
Yeah.
Okay, before
Site-
that, we need to
yeah.
do 8.5.
Site plans have to come done before you do the other ones based on our new regulation.
Okay, so we need to look at the site plan. Zoning, okay, here's what we have to look at, parking area. So tell us about the parking. Is it gonna stay the same? Has the town granted you the same parking spots?
Well, the town owns the whole lot. Right?
Yeah.
I went and found something today.
That sounds like sharing information, because we were sort of looking at the landlines and going, well, I don't know, did we get 2 spaces?
So I spoke to Carol today, and this was the last parking. It doesn't have the right necessary names on the signs, but that was the parking plan that was set up in, was it 2006? But I don't know, she didn't know if there was an actual official record, so there's definitely needs to be some sort of.
I would suggest you go to the town and have an updated parking plan, because you're correct that this parking lot's owned by the town. And this map shows only 2, 3 co-op,
Or
4.
There's 13 if you look way down. Did it print out the very bottom? Did it not come out on that? I hate that when I don't.
I only see.
I see 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right,
Oh,
that-
5, 6,
read
7.
that.
Oh. Okay. I'll just bring my glasses.
Here, let me
Okay,
read.
7, 8, 9. I see 9. 13 for the municipal building,
And 9 for the co-op.
9 for the call.
And 3 for the fire station.
3 for, yeah, so, well, I see, yeah, fire station 3, town clerk 3. Yeah,
So those are probably the signs that are existing there. You would probably want to go to the town and just reaffirm as new owners that you want. And with apartments, you need one parking
You have to
spot.
go to the, I wrote the section number in the morning.
All right, but you're gonna need them, and we'll go through them. So you need parking spots for apartments, offices, you probably need them. So we'll go through those. So we can approve the site plan contingent on the existing parking if it meets it. And then we'd probably want you to go to the town offices and just confirm that they're gonna keep those parking spots for your building. And you can, I would also encourage you, just as the co-op always did, was to encourage people to park, if they're all day parkers, to park up at the
Yeah,
parking
like
rides.
it's like, please park.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, parking area that we've just discussed that. Is there any more discussion about that before we get into the specifics of office and apartment and how many are needed?
Yes, sorry, it's me again. And this is the only
Mary.
other reason I'm here. I just want to say, when it was the community center before, there was a lot of parking that happened along Creamery. And it used to, well, I don't have a car right now, but it used to block off my parking a lot. So hopefully they can get enough parking spaces from the town to cover any, events that are going to be there, and I know they don't have any control over this, but or somehow really encourage parking up above or something, because one time somebody was at a party and left the party without their car, and I couldn't get into my parking space for the whole weekend. Plus, I think it was a holiday, so it was like 3 or 4 days I couldn't get into my own parking place. So
Yeah, so I think, again, intentional for events, you could, if people are renting, you really, like, they could maybe require that people park up at the parking ride, do more around that. I know the co-op tried and, yeah, Melinda.
I just, sort of technical thing. One thing the co-op did wonderfully is they had a notice posted in that entry area where people can and cannot park.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know that, that the whole, what could be parking area along the picket fence that I have and down to the cemetery, that is deeded, not available.
Yeah.
That was years ago, that was. So again, it's, with the changeover and you're gonna have new traveling population using the building, you may need to educate the new people.
Right.
And yeah,
You can make a nap or something.
Yeah, no, I would definitely, when I used to work at the club, seen during certain events, it wasn't enforced very well.
no, it wasn't.
It was like, yeah, you're not supposed to park in here,
Yeah.
but like they park, people park from.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I would suggest as a landlord, I don't like that word, to have that in your leases of the parking.
For like people in the office.
So that
Or just have it written
So that-
down.
Yes, have it written and they have to agree to do that. To go park at the park and ride. I mean, that should be something that is just, they do because they have to.
We can look at the amount of parking and see if it's sufficient, but I think mostly it's events that become an issue, and that's where, when you rent it out, that's in the lease, right? And then also,
So there's 49 cars coming upstairs and where do they go?
right, and they take all municipal parking, which is okay usually when it's after hours, but really, it's not that far of a walk from the
No, that's
parking,
very
right? But I do think people need to be told, because, we're a car focused culture, and like, how close can I get to the door?
Yeah.
All right, so, pedestrian vehicular access. I saw on this, it doesn't look like you're planning to currently change the access to the first or second floor, correct? Well, actually, there's a,
Yeah, so there's a panel, that's like a, oh, that's like already an existing pole. That has like a trap door with siding.
so this middle door into the apartment, that's a part of your plan. This will be an additional door, right? This
I
one
think-
here?
Yeah. And so this is the panel that exists. It's basically a trap door that's like the size of a door with siding on it. We had it open yesterday to get the scrap metal out of the building. But it doesn't have a door in it. It's just like.
Oh, I remember that
a
door.
wooden
It used to be
panel.
open.
Yeah, there used to be a door there.
Yeah, we used to use that door in the co-op.
So there's still like there's like a frame, but someone built like a wooden panel that goes in there.
I remember
like,
that.
Comes out like a trap door.
So you'll make that an access to the apartment. And will you do any improvements in this walkway for them in terms of
Like
gravel?
Or
Well,
here.
here, for the people who are coming into these back?
I mean, there's like a propane tank here and it's just like gravel.
Okay,
There isn't sort of crisply whacked it. It's just like,
it's accessible.
It's on there,
yeah.
but yeah.
Anybody else about, pedestrian and vehicular access?
That's that panel we have open in your life.
So you're gonna need, you're not gonna have people parking back there, right, where the dumpster is and in that in-between space? Is the co-op own that? You don't, you guys don't really own that space, do you?
No, it's like,
Good.
there's like a small amount of land. I love all these maps. There's like a small triangle of land that's part of that property here, but the driveway belongs to the municipal building. So
So
like,
you
I
won't
think
be-
historically people have loaded stuff there, but we wouldn't.
Be using it for parking
No.
or for the traffic or anything?
Long-standing, it is owned by the town, long-standing, and they've been. The co-op plows that drive and also right, if you're looking at the handicap spot. Like, there's like two facets that, the co-op was responsible, has been responsible for one.
And that was like the agreement for usage of that.
Yeah, I guess so.
So you wanna revisit that with the town too, yeah.
Yeah,
These
That's
exist,
part of.
yeah, I would put that in our conditions, just so it's clear that these are things you should do when we make our motions. Okay, great. That way you won't have to remember them. They'll be in some form of writing. Any existing and proposed landscaping or screening? Okay. Location and description of proposed exterior lighting. There is existing exterior lighting. Are you-
We adjusted some, so it was pointing less out. But we're not planning on changing anything.
usually if we add a door. For egress, then we'll have to add a light, I mean.
Right, you'll have
It could be like, whatever.
downward facing, there's regs. You just wanna follow the, what the regs say.
Karen said.
I sent her this 19-page, no, wasn't that bad,
Yeah,
but I
I
gave
know.
her.
For lighting
detailed-
downward
detailed-
facing,
detailed, Yeah. Cut and paste.
I got a list
I
of
like that.
blinding night directing the Route 2 lighting that I want to bring to East Montpelier, but I haven't yet. Location and size of existing proposed signs. You're gonna have a sign? There is the sign already existing there?
So the sign is interesting. They're gonna have to apply with the town of Plainfield to have the sign that they have currently, because the town of Plainfield owns the property that the sign is on.
So,
So
cause
I
it's
hadn't thought about that before, but we're gonna have to
to
get.
us, to the DRB.
So the town of Plainfield is going to have to apply for the to change the sign.
The town is gonna have.
Because they own the property, so they're the owners.
Are you
and then-
taking notes?
Right.
The decisions.
And so they'll be, they'll be the applicants and the town of Plainfield is the owner, and that has to happen between.
Are you gonna want a sign?
There's one
I
there.
like the ones there.
Yeah, we like.
And you'll
this.
wanna add, your information to it, change it. So did you?
Put a poster on it that says what we are.
Yeah, okay, well, there's more, conditions that will, or at least, decisions that will, findings, that's what they're called,
Town
findings.
applies.
Well, you'll be the applicant, but they're the owner, so it's the same thing, but of course, the owner has to agree.
Yeah,
And then there's the whole thing with the fire department too.
Part, design.
well,
They only have
Or
five.
that's part, I think that's, I mean, I haven't read it in a while. I haven't read it in a while, and then I went away to the lake and didn't read it. But I know it's something it's something that has to be done in the future,
Yeah.
is to have the sign permitted, but it's gotta be between the town, the fire department, and the town municipal and your place. Yes, you're in the interest,
If we wanna replace like the sign, because there was a sign on the building, we wanna do that again.
you'd have to get a sign permit from, that would be just me. That,
Right, sure. And she, as long as it's not, it fits within the regs, you don't have to bring it to us. If it's small enough, if it fits in the limits, then you just get a permit from Karen. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna move on to section 8.5.1 standards for site plan review for commercial use. And A is the size and scale of the development, but it's not development. It's not changing the exterior, so we don't need to deal with A. B is the use is appropriate in the district and will not be detrimental to the other uses within the district or the neighboring properties. I don't see any issues there. That's B. C, the proposed development utilizes land efficiently. It's really not a change. If anything, I mean, it is a change in that you have one residence there.
Yeah.
And offices are kind of like day use, like the co-op was day people, staff and people coming and going. So I don't really see that it's changing what it has already been permitted for. But yes, you can definitely,
You see it as a big change. They're not selling a bunch of things. It's a big change.
right, a lot of less people coming and going, so it'll be quieter.
Yeah.
for someone who's their neighbor. I'm sure you'll appreciate that. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Thank you. Okay, the plan for safe traffic circulation and space for adequate parking shall be located at the rear side of the building when possible. So again, parking requirements may be waived by the Development Review Board for all permitted and conditional uses in the village district. So we've talked, you know, you need to go to the town, and right now the existing plan is there, and it definitely has good traffic circulation and safety. It's one way. I like that. Yeah. The use should create no odors, noise, light beyond property line. To this end, landscaping and fencing may be required to screen the project. So I don't think that you said you'd add some more outdoor lighting, and they will meet the standards of the town. So the section 8. Right, one more fixture, yeah. Yes, Melinda.
On that wording, I just heard you say, go beyond property boundary lines. As the lighting is now, it lights the farthest away inside wall of my house. And that is, of course, on my property.
Which one? The one that's for the front main
Yeah,
door?
I'm exactly sure, well, I think the light comes I shouldn't say for sure, but from the high, large light. But also the ones which they've not been there as long as the one up high, but one's lower and just above the door, and we touched on that before. And quickly looked at it, and the comment was made, oh, well, those don't need to be pointing outward. They could, like you said.
Did you notice the difference? Aiden adjusted them the other day.
I did point them down.
I haven't been looking,
Okay,
so.
yeah, cause she did it, was that like 4 days ago or something?
Yeah, because they were pointing like out of.
They were trying to.
I've been looking
Yeah.
at that, like I need to put on sunglasses.
They're not supposed to be doing that. People do that all the time, and I
Yeah.
don't know why, because it's just block, it's. So I'm glad you changed them, so you should
Yeah.
let them know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and work with if it's better, not it's shining in your living room.
I'll pay her, if I'm.
That was just a screwdriver, and then they're all adjustable, so it's a pretty simple.
Right.
Yeah,
Wonderful. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
Bob.
so what happens is that people replace the compact fluorescents with LEDs, which have a little bit more lumens than the compact fluorescent did. So sometimes you're able to reduce it from the double, twin floodlights down to one and get away with it. And there's still, I think if you check with the efficiency of the Vermont site, I think there's still new incentives for LED lighting. But
Yeah, I know the copies. Yeah.
Recommendations on LED lighting. There we go. It's another one, I'd say. Okay, so now we can move on. Those were all the conditions for section 8.1, 5.1. Now where do we go? Standard for site plan, 3.8 lighting and 3.9 parking. Those are the next two. Because we did the historic site preservation already.
There's still the conditional use,
8.6.
yes.
Well, why don't we do that right now?
Yeah.
Okay, no zoning permit shall be issued, of course, so let's keep moving downward.
Sometimes I'm so.
Specific standards, hold hearings, match conditions provided by the state. Yeah, so. That's 8.6.1, standards for review of conditional uses. A, the capacity of existing or planned community facilities. That what you're planning does not have an undue adverse effect upon the capacity of existing or planned community facilities. No. The character of the area affected as determined for the purpose of the district doesn't have any adverse conditions. If you have any objections to my saying that I think we don't have any problem with these, please speak up. Traffic on the roads and highways in the vicinity, it sounds like there'll be less traffic. Bylaws and ordinances in effect, of course, you'll have to abide by them. Utilization of renewable energy sources. Bob, are you here for that? Maybe the geothermal? Maybe the geothermal, potentially in the future?
Disturbing any unmarked graves and getting it. Too bad.
That condition in there.
Right, can't disturb any unmarked grave,
Blessings to all there.
right. The integrity of agricultural lands and significant wildlife habits don't apply. So specific standards that also include the installation operation, we might require the installation, operation, maintenance of such devices or methods of operation to reduce fumes, gas, smoke, dust, odor, vibration, but you're not planning anything large that's going to produce noise or dust or smoke or vibration. Open spaces between proposed uses, it's been there a long time, not a lot of change there. Landscaping, we spoke about, we don't need fencing. Off-street parking facilities, so we talked about that. Conformance with the town plan, I'd say it does conform with the town. So Karen, am I doing all right here?
Yeah, it's required that I list everything that they're supposed to do in the review for hearing, so.
That's my
I'm getting
job.
a little better at it over time.
3.8 lighting, we're gonna go to, 3.8 lighting. We did touch on lighting a little bit. So I don't know if we need to speak to it again, right?
Correct.
If there's anything additional in there.
Mary, did you have something to say about anything additional?
I said, I don't think we need to go over it again.
Okay, great, thank you. And then parking is something that we do need to go through because residential use, 1 family and 2 family dwelling units, 1 parking space for every unit. So your apartment is required 1 space. How many bedrooms is it?
1.
Okay, 1 space, professional office, 1 parking space, plus 1 additional parking space for every 300 square feet of office space. Do you have square footage of your spaces?
On here.
So each one would be one plus and plus something.
Looks like,
They need an additional, for anything over 300.
For every 300 square feet of office space.
does the maintenance office count?
Two of them.
No,
Two of
Okay.
them, that's like our access to all the depths of the building.
Yeah, so it's like about 600 square
So-
feet, right?
I would say two of the offices are over 300, but the other two are under 250.
So, and there's a max of 4?
There's 4.
So
Oh,
that's
there's the other.
4, 6.
6.
If we say 6 plus 1 for the apartment, that's 7, and we just said the existing parking the co-op had is 9.
Yeah.
So if it stays the same, you have more than adequate parking.
well, then you have to go to the community facility and that's where it gets,
Which
Tricky.
We're asking them to park at the parking lot instead.
Yeah, can I put in something again?
Yes,
There need to be an accessibility there, handicap parking. I think there was one for the co-op, so there was one there,
There
but
is-
Yes.
Yeah, there's still.
that's interesting because I don't see that here in our parking, at
oh,
least.
probably not.
Well,
that's why
place, yeah,
we're-
no,
That's why we're an accessibility committee.
just tell the planning commission they need to add that into the parking.
Yeah, so the handicap parking spot is still there and there's a sign which will retain the sign. And the ramp is, it's adjacent to the ramp. So those things won't change, but it sounds like they're not officially in the paperwork.
At least I don't see them here. Yeah, Bob,
Yeah, there's a curious parking space, which is also the handicap parking space, because back a while ago, Brenson and Winooski had some sort of deal they cut with the co-op, so that there was a takeout down by the river. So you wouldn't have to go over the dam, obviously, but it was a takeout spot that you could go down, pull your boat up and find a place to park, maybe in that space or the adjacent one for loading boats, but I think it was a temporary use thing. Load your boat and get out of there.
I think that's separate than the handicap
Yeah,
parking.
if it's Still hard.
Yes.
There's the handicap spot, and then I think that's the spot you're referring to, is right next to it.
Yep,
And I think that was, the driver on that was Brenson Winooski.
is this still accessible down there? Did the flood destroy all of that
It's
access?
still there.
Yes, there, it's,
Chris did all the weed whacking, so you can get
but
through.
it's,
like-
I mean, some of the, however they built it, the steps are kind of, could use some work, but they're still there, we can still use it.
And one other thing that we're trying to do is to, with the municipal office building, is put in a vehicle charger on probably the side of the municipal office building where the access is. And try to do something with it, because when you put in a vehicle charger, you gotta have a handicap space accessible to it and a regular parking space. So what I've been talking with Bram and Josh about is perhaps a couple of diagonal spaces where the dumpster now is. And then moving the dumpster to some other
The co-op dumpster or the existing town hall dumpster?
town hall or the municipal.
Buildings dumpster, yeah,
Lot of sure it's gone, big button.
right.
Yeah.
But that's like, that, it's,
Great, that way we don't have to disturb the ground to put that in, hang it on the side of the building, and maybe a couple of diagonal spaces there. That's still a moving piece.
it does have a parking sign right there, doesn't it? On the municipal building, isn't there a parking sign that says town parking
Yeah.
right there?
Yeah, I trust you, obviously you've measured, it's a little tight in through there.
Yeah, it is tight,
It's parallel, not
yeah,
diagonal.
yeah,
Well, okay.
we can do it any either way.
You can borrow the fire department's parking spots.
that's one thing you cannot do.
Sorry, I was just. All right, so I think what we're looking at here is place of public assembly for every structure used as a theater, amusement facility, auditorium, community center, stadium, religious institution, or private assembly, which provides facility for seating of people, one space per 4 seats. However, not less than one parking space shall be provided for every 200 square feet of floor area. We might need to give a variance or waiver.
It's a waiver.
It's a waiver for that one, because there's no way you can do that. So that's a part of our findings and decision. And I do think,
Wouldn't the park and ride be considered for that?
well, I think that because it's not theirs, it would just be that, in the agreement of rental and also you could do something like have it with big events, have somebody actually help, stand out there and say,
Yeah,
Yeah,
please park above,
yeah.
for at least the beginning of the event, and then people are gonna have to find parking wherever. It'll probably get filled up and then they'll have to go up there anyways. I just am surprised at how people would rather park in front of Mary Lane's driveway instead of go up the road. So I think education on that one would be really good.
And there's that thing about along my picket fence, if people are coming, they have no idea, gosh, why not? So yeah, there's gonna have to be some kind of a communication.
You don't have signs on your picket
No.
fence and you don't want that.
Right. Every now and again, this is what it's just annoying story. I've had, they're visitors, they pull around and go, oh, they happen to have a long boat on the back of their car. And where are they parked? My picket fence goes along here and my little walk goes down to here. They park here like that, right in front of my little walkway. So, yeah, it does happen, but fortunately, very little. However, new people, they don't know.
Okay, so I think we addressed the parking for the community center. How am I doing? Am I getting through it all? I think we got it through it all. Great, now we need to put together a decision and findings and a motion, so. Mary, wanna make a motion?
Yes,
Why don't you make a motion with some findings and decisions and we'll support?
okay.
you.
I make a motion that we approve. Am I doing okay so far?
like,
The site plan review of the granary, given that we need to see, no, they need to go to the town to talk about a parking plan. And that they will need to apply to the town to change the sign along Main Street. And there was something about, oh, there's lighting down there. Lighting should be converted to LED lighting.
And then there was not exemption, what is it?
Waiver
Waiver
Waiver,
that needed for
for the public.
the community center parking.
okay, for the community center parking. And, okay,
I'll second that.
I would just add to the lighting in consideration of the boundaries of the property.
oh, yeah,
Downward
Okay.
facing, yeah. And downward facing.
Yeah.
Try not to extend beyond the boundaries of the property.
Yeah.
All right. Have we covered everything, Karen?
I
Yes.
believe so.
Any other comments? I'll take a motion to,
A second.
I second
Okay,
it.
you move-
I second it.
Okay.
I decided I get to participate finally.
Okay.
It's not because we're like a 15 member board and I just have to mediate.
It's just the three of us here.
Oh, and just right, exactly. So we have I seconded. All in favor, say aye.
aye,
All right.
All right, and this will be written down, so you know your to-do list.
okay.
All right. And there is a how much day appeal process once we write the decision. So we'll write the decision,
And you'll,
approve it
But-
next month.
yes, and then it'll be, so
30.
the only people that can appeal the permit are Mary Lane. I don't know who
Was not sworn in.
They're not sworn in, they haven't spoken, so they
Okay,
can't.
and these guys, or them, if they don't like it, so there's not very many
Change
people.
their minds.
I would hope we would have heard objections before this moment.
So,
So, yeah, there you go, good luck. And we'll be back next month to approve the decision, and then there is what, I'd still never
it's
remember.
a 30. It's a
30-day appeal
but-
process,
But
but
I also can back up with my permit acceptance, so that they all kind of end at the same time, so it's a little while, but these things take time.
so does renovating a building, right?
So when can we,
Right?
after everything, we can use the upstairs after everything is approved?
Yes. Mm-mm.
I don't think we have any other business before the board. We set the 2 hearing dates for next month, times and
Yeah, when
dates.
you were, oh, yeah, we already set those when you.
And we
Yeah.
don't have meeting minutes to
Yeah.
adopt.
And I am working with Goddard, just wanted to say.
Okay.
It's very slow, but I am working with them.
Great.
So,
And maybe just because I don't have time to follow what's really going on the town level with the changes to the zoning regulations, there's hearings going
Okay.
before the public with
We're-
amendments that the planning commission's proposing,
well, so these ones that we're working with today,
that you're
Okay.
gonna give me, can I have them?
yes, you can have them.
Can I give you these two?
Yeah, to recycle?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's really complicated right now because when a permit comes in, it depends what has been warned by the select board. So when their permit came in, it was these regulations. The select board has warned for some amendments. It sometime in June. And if any, so the permits
In
that.
July, you
The
mean?
permits, yeah, July, but they warned it
In June.
in June. So the permits that are coming in for Travis, okay, are on the ones that are being,
Review.
the hearings for with the select board.
Even if they're not approved?
Yes, as soon as the select board warns an adoption of some zoning regulations, you use those with all those, use those regulations
You'll
for at
bring-
least 150 days. If it doesn't get approved, if it doesn't get approved in 150 days, it goes back to the one before. So Barish's is still on the 2000 and whatever, 10 one. 11 subdivisions. This one is on this current one, and the Travis's will be on the next one.
And you'll bring us a few extra pages to follow.
So, and then after
Sure.
that, there's gonna be another thing.
Right.
It's a nightmare, honestly.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn before things get more complicated.
I
Mary,
second.
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
We survived.
Do you want this back?
Would you, I can print off another copy. Would you like to have it?
I'd love
You can have it.
to make it smaller and make another one bigger.
And this, thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for attending,
you.
participating.
Thanks, Mary.
Seth, are you doing the decision?
I'll do the decision if you're doing the minutes.
Okay,
All right, deal.
okay.
Enjoy your time away.
Today's
you.
the 9th, 2025.
So Bob.